Whenever there's a pub that's struggling and wouldn't say no to a bit of free publicity, there's generally a ghost turns up from somewhere to lend a helping hand. The drinking establishments around the Fylde and Wyre are no exception. Let's kick off with the Shovels Inn, Hambleton's only real attraction, other than a telephone mast, built in 1848. The story goes that in the late 19th century, a man staggered in at the front door, covered from head to toe in blood, as you do, claiming that he'd just slaughtered his wife. The local bobby was alerted in Stowmine and promptly arrived on his bicycle to arrest the blood-stained hooligan. George, because that was the murderer's name, actually it wasn't, his name was Richard Pedder, but who's counting, was hanged at Lancaster Castle. Since then, numerous allegedly sober customers have witnessed his tortured soul haunting the barrels behind the bar. In fact, his visits have become so frequent that he's now known simply as Dark-Haired George. Unfortunately for George, they don't serve spirits after hours. Meanwhile, at the Ship and Royal in Lytham, a ghost called Charlie, for no particular reason that we can discern, allegedly wanders about the upper floors making weird noises. The staff have also reported seeing a man in the cellar, possibly a lost drunk, trying to find his way to the little boy's room. A mother and daughter, having allegedly committed suicide in the pub in the late 19th century, also make weird noises around the building, along with John Talbot Clifton. Don't ask. Everybody needs a hobby, we suppose. There's another ghost called Charlie. Well, it's a generic enough name to cover most periods of British history, that haunts the Grand Theatre in Blackpool. In life, allegedly, he was a member of the audience who threw himself off the balcony. Obviously, it was his first time watching Tom O'Connor. Charlie likes to pull pranks on the performers. They're not very good pranks. In the 1980s, for example, he once tapped a pantomime director on the shoulder. Jeremy Beadle must be turning in his grave, or whatever pub he's currently haunting. Paranormal researchers have suggested there's a portal above the grand stage, leading to cries from the audience of "It's behind you," much like Bernie Clifton's career. Woodpumpton is perhaps best known for being the home of Meg Shelton, the witch who was buried headfirst beneath a boulder in St Anne's churchyard. We could go into more detail about her shenanigans, but we don't want to. The nearby Wheatsheaf claims its own ghost. Of course it does. A photograph taken of the fireplace apparently shows a young girl polishing the grate. She must have been a midget or something, judging by the size of her. Alternatively, of course, it might just have been a smudge on the negative, but who are we to judge people's deeply held spiritual beliefs? The Shard Inn, or hotel, or pub, or whatever it's called, is said to be haunted by a dog. On August 14th, 1908, Norman Renshaw's boat collided with the bridge and started to sink. Norman's dog, Jack, jumped overboard. Norman dived in to rescue him. Jack survived. Norman didn't. Jack went on to live for another 7 years. His gravestone can still be seen in the car park of the pub, and his ghost is often witnessed scurrying in through the pub doors, especially after several pints. We could talk about the glass-flinging poltergeist at the Grapevine in Poulton, or the barstool rearranging ghost at the Hand and Dagger. Then there's Bleeding Ears Murphy at the Eagle and Child, who likes to mutter a lot. And the Beast of Lytham, who likes to creep up behind old folk on the bowling green and breathe down their lug holes. Or the seemingly dozens of ghosts that have decided to occupy Mains Hall since it became a wedding venue. I'm gonna be honest, just about every pub, hotel, small business and sideshow attraction in the Fylde and Wyre is purported to be haunted by something or other, ranging from hairy ghoulies to belching boggarts. I'm surprised that Bagans hasn't bought the entire place up, lock, stock and barrel. However, we couldn't leave this praised roundup of paranormal nonsense without mention of the Rakes Hall. Rakes Hall was once a convent before it diverged into monkey houses and gift shops. One of the nuns apparently committed suicide by drowning and now visits the pub from beyond the grave. I wonder if she's blue. Blue nun. See what I did there? She likes to move items around. According to reports, late at night, regulars have heard strange noises coming from the cellars. That'd probably be the ghostly bishop visiting. We could go on, but we're not going to. Click like, subscribe, leave a comment, all the usual stuff that nobody ever pays any attention to, and all being well, we'll be back again as soon as possible with another episode of Lancashire Footnotes.